Hey guys, welcome back. For those that are coming back and for those that are new here, my name is Laura, and today I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit more about pods. Now I want this video to be kind of short and sweet. I want to talk a little bit about what pods are, as well as ways to use pods. So I've compiled a list of 14 ways to use pods, and I want to share those with you guys. Some of them I have tried personally. Others I've seen other people use and wanted to share. I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook recently asking for ways to use pods, so I wanted to share a little compiled list with you guys. So first of all, what is a pod? Now, essentially a pod, I don't have it completely filled, so you can't really see the exact structure of it, but essentially it's a big rectangle, and on the top there is a zipper here, and then sometimes pods have a zipper on the side here with a pocket or just a pocket. Really all depends on what brand you buy. This one is a Panolino Bambino and it doesn't have those side pockets, but it does have a little handle here on the end. And again, sometimes these handles can look different depending on which brand you get. Some brands have longer handles, some brands have detachable handles. These ones here just snap in the middle, so if you wanted to put it around something, you could snap it right on. So now that we've talked about the structure of the pod, let's talk about some of the ways that you can use these. The first way, and I feel like the way you're gonna see most people use them in the cloth diaper community, is storing clean diapers. Now I will enter a photo here of Warren storing some diapers I had stuffed, and in that pod I had 8 stuffed diapers, and I feel like that's a good general rule of thumb. But again guys, depending on brand, there are different measurements for pods, and there are even mini pods. So again, it really all depends. So although that is the most common way to use a pod in the cloth diaper community, you can also use pods to store dirty diapers. So in place of your pail liner, wet bag, travel wet bag, hanging wet bag, whatever you have to store your dirty diapers in, you could also store your dirty diapers in a pod. Now you saw the little hanging part here. You could always hang this on something and then keep this unzipped a little bit and stuff your dirty diapers in here when you're done using them, instead of whatever you're using as your current system now. That is always an option, and that is something I saw recently and had to mention. The third way that you can use pods is for storing toys in your house. Now we have a boatload of toys, and these are awesome at containing them, especially things like Legos or magnetic tiles or little people and their accessories. So this can also be a good toy storage system. The fourth way you can use a pod, you could use these as travel cubes in your luggage. Now people buy travel cubes on Amazon to keep their clothes nice and organized. It's just a good way of keeping your items contained in luggages. The fifth way you can use a pod is to stuff it with things you may need on the go and leave it in the car. Now this could be having an extra change of clothes and diapers in the car. This could be having books and toys in the car. Whatever you think, you could use this for a variety of things to keep contained in your car. The sixth way you could use a pod is as a little mini diaper bag. Now, if you're just running to the store or something, or you have somewhere quick to go, or you're going on a walk, you could easily stuff this with whatever you need, whether that be your phone, wallet, an extra set of baby's clothes, a diaper, whatever you may need. You can literally just stuff it in a pod and hook it onto a stroller or shopping cart. So that is another way that I've seen diaper pods used. And a seventh way to use a pod is you can stick your pump and accessories in here. So when I was pumping for Grace, I would stick my pump in the pod and then stick all of the little accessories in a wet bag and stick that in here as well. So essentially it just kept all of my pumping supplies contained, and I knew exactly where it was all the time, and it's easy and quick to grab on the go as well. An eighth way to use a diaper pod is for emergency kits. Now I often see most people do these kind of kits in something like a backpack, which I do think would be easier, but if you have an excess of diaper pods and not enough backpacks, you could also use a pod. Now what I mean by emergency kit, now some people in their homes keep one bag per person and stuff it with things like an extra set of clothes, drinks, snacks, flashlights, first aid kits, and things like that, in case you were ever in a situation where there was an emergency and you needed to get something quick. You knew exactly where your bag bag was, and you had some items in there for you in case of an emergency. The 9th way you could use a pod would be you can use this to pack it and take it to the beach or the pool. Now this would be something super simple to bring with you to the pool. You can keep an extra set of your kids' clothes in here. You can keep a wet bag in there, drinks, snacks, suntan lotion, whatever you need to fit in here. This would be perfect for a beach or pool day. Way number 10 to use a pod could be to contain all of your extra cloth diapering supplies, whether that be diaper creams, extra inserts, anything that you need to know where it is for your cloth diapering journey and it's just something extra, you can always throw it in here. Number 11, pods are awesome for daycare. So when Grace was in daycare, I would pack all of her diapers in a pod and stuff a wet bag in here as well, and that would be all of her diapers for the day, and daycare would send the pod home, and then I would have the dirty diapers in the wet bag. The 12th way to use your pod. Now, I don't do this personally, but I've heard a lot of mamas love to store their mama cloth in a pod. Now, when you're not using your mama cloth, obviously you need to have a place to store it, so a pod would be perfect for that. Number 13, and this is one that I personally use and I see people do it very often, and it is to hold your baby carrier. Now, we have one baby carrier in the car and one baby carrier in the closet for around the house, and both of those are in pods, and it just works out so well. And last but not least, a 14th way to use a pod would be to pack up some diapers that you're not using to set aside. Now, how I use it is when I have seasonal diapers and they're not in season and I'm not using them, normally I use my seasonal diapers all year round, but if they're like super seasonal, like Christmas, I will pack them up in a pod and set it to the side, and I will leave it unzippered because it's important that you don't store diapers with elastics in airtight containers. So I hope that helped explain what a pod is, as well as gave you some more ideas on ways you could use them. Now, again, this is not the only way you can use pods. There are so many different ways to use pods. So if there is a way that you use pods and I didn't mention it, please make sure to leave that down below and share with everybody else. I'm sure a way you use it could also help somebody else. Again, you guys are super creative. I love hearing what you guys come up with. So again, guys, thank you for sticking with me for this video. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I'll see you guys soon.